Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today is February 14th, aka Valentine's Day, but most importantly known as the day that Jace the Mind Sculptor entered Modern on Magic the Gathering Online. In all seriousness, we don't own any copies of Jace the Mind Sculptor, so instead we're going to be playing a Modern Jeskai Queller Geist deck. We're choosing this over the old school type list that we played last time because we need the extra interaction if we're expecting games to go long and grindy. Primarily, it's still just a standard Jeskai shell with 4 copies of Lightning Bolt, 4 copies of Lightning Helix, and 2 copies of Electrolyze as your burn package, as well as having answers for larger creatures in the form of Path to Exile, Valor Stance, and Blessed Alliance. Valor Stance doubles to protect our interactive creatures like Spell Queller and Vendilion Click, as well as our main threat in Geist, from the removal of the Jund and blue-based control decks, as well as Blessed Alliance improving our burn and hyper aggro matchups. You'll also notice that we've cut pretty much our entire top end, including Cryptic Command, most notably. This is because if we're getting into long, grindy counter battles against blue-based control decks, we want our counter spells to cost less than theirs. If you take a glance over at the mana base, primarily directly below me here, you'll notice we're once again stretching it out to include 2 copies of Field of Ruin and 1 Ghost Quarter. This is because if you think about the decks that are good against the grindy, dirtily style decks of Jund and blue-based control that got the biggest hit in the arm with with the unbannings, Tron is one of the major players that is good against those, as well as Linear Combo and Hyper Aggro. So keeping that in mind as we take a look at our sideboard, we've got a 4th copy of Land Destruction in the form of Ghost Quarter, as well as 2 Surgical Extractions to hopefully get rid of those Tron lands. And so that's our primary Tron package. However, the spiciest card is Commandeer. So hopefully during these videos you'll get the chance to see me either steal a Karn on turn 3 after playing a Geist out, or you'll get to see me steal a Jace, because despite not owning Jace, I would love to play with him. So I think Commandeer is a sweet card that we could just try out. It's a lot of card disadvantage, but it might be fun for the time being. In terms of the linear combo decks, we have a copy of Runed Halo and Meddling Mage that we're bringing in. And then the rest is just for continuing to grind and protecting ourselves from hyper aggro in the form of timely reinforcements. Izzet Staticaster and Supreme Verdict. Sphinx's Revelation is one of the main cards we'll bring in against Jund, just so that we can top deck it late in the game and refill our hand after both players have been deprived of resources. So without much further ado, I think let's go ahead and hop into our first match. Give me a second to grab a quick drink, and we will be joining a friendly Modern League. Jeskai Queller Geist is selected. Alright, let's do this. Hopefully we get the chance to play against some of the decks we plan to. It is Modern, so you never know, you might play against a bunch of random stuff. That's just kind of the way it breaks down, and that's kind of what makes the format fun. Just confirming that we submitted the correct deck. Yep. I think Commandeer is either going to be the worst card in our 75 or the best. I guess time will only tell. Here comes round 1. We are on the draw, I would imagine. This hand could be a little bit better. We'd like to have one of our threats in it. However, I do think it's better than our average 6, so we'll go ahead and keep. Also, being on the draw, Spell Snare is extremely valuable because we can fuck in the Steam Vents and take away their turn 2 play. We're going to get Thoughtseize, though. Inquisition. Guessing they're going to take this Spell Snare. Perhaps they'll take the Path to Exile, though. Snapcaster was a great draw. Sensei took the Spell Snare. We're just going to go ahead and play Sacred Foundry tapped. Pass. So this is likely going to be John, just based on the current atmosphere of Magic. Oh, I'm way bigger than I normally am. Let me go ahead and shrink that down. Sorry about that, guys. I just now noticed that. Dark Confidant's pretty good. That's why we played our Sacred Foundry untapped, so that we can go ahead and kill that before they get any form of card advantage off of it. Here I think we'll just go ahead and play Steam Vent tapped and path this because we want to continue to hit our land drops, so not going to play the fetch land. We are accelerating them here. Oh, it's Sultai, so we are more likely to see Jace, I guess, then. Lily. I need to focus in on the game rather than thinking about Jace and all of those cards. Field of Ruin isn't likely to be great in this matchup. I think we'll go ahead and discard it. They could have the unblockable blue-black man land, but we're not worried about that at this point. I think we're just going to go ahead and play Flooded Strand, getting ready to discard Colonnade, or we could play Colonnade tapped and discard the Flooded Strand. The major difference there is that the Flooded Strand allows us to play Electrolyze. I think we will go ahead and do this. We're going to fetch and get just a basic island, and we'll probably discard whatever we draw off of Electrolyze unless it's great. My hope here is that they're not going to run Jace out if they do have one. So we're going to respond to this. So tapping out here gives them the okay to go ahead and attack with Jace, but I don't really want to discard any of the cards in my hand currently. Lightning Bolt is fine to discard, especially considering we have the Snapcaster Mage. I'm not casting it, I'm discarding it. Our opponent's deciding whether they would like their own ability to resolve. Another Dark Confidant. And a Scavenging Ooze. Luckily they tap down on the Scavenging Ooze. Go ahead and see what we draw. Mana Leak is fine. We really want to get rid of this card advantage, both in the form of Liliana and Dark Confidant. However, Scavenging Ooze is going to be a problem for our Snapcaster Mages moving forward. Not entirely sure which we should get rid of. It's probably Liliana, because Dark Confidant allows them to discard or to draw 2 cards. Liliana's card advantage in that they can make us discard after playing out both the cards they draw. I think we're just going to kill Dark Confidant and discard Mana Leak if necessary. Again, hating to tap out on our turn, but the threats they've presented have aligned such that we have to. Tarmogoyf is great. We can Snapcaster or Flashback at the Exile as long as we can get them off this green mana. Logic Knot, huh? Not attacking with Snapcaster Mage, clearly. Think we'll just go ahead and pass. And then hopefully they'll activate this to eat a Dark Confidant or something end of turn. Activate it. Come on. That's what I wanted. I think here we Snapcaster Mage, probably targeting, I think, the path just to deal with the Tarmogoyf because it's the largest threat on the table at the moment, excluding Liliana. We just mistapped there, but it wasn't going to matter because we're going to cast this path anyway. So Liliana is going to take our Logic Knot. We're left with 2 Snapcasters against the Scavenger Ooze, a Lily, and whatever they have. Now Spellbomb's pretty good. Be surprised if they wanted to use it right now, except for maybe to draw a card. So they're going to draw a card. We'll F6 to save time. Already down a considerable amount of time. I've been talking a lot, also wasted a bit of time with that path on the Tarmogoyf decision. Upkeep, eating another Scavenging Ooze. We drew Plains. We'll just go ahead and play that so we don't lose it to Liliana and pass. We'd really like to see like a Valorous stance off the top here. A land isn't awful because we can just Celestial Colonnade attack Liliana. Land it is. Our opponent has no cards in hand. Just gonna fetch up a basic island, animate Colonnade, and attack in, hitting Liliana. Passing the turn back. Our opponent draws 2 cards, Breeding Pool being 1. If they want to up Liliana, they lose the ability to target opponent. Okay. Our opponent has 1 card in hand. Attacking with Scavenging Ooze, I think we'll just take it at this point. They're going to hit us for 5 this turn. Mana Leak. We don't really want them to continue drawing 2 cards, so we really want to get this game over. But I don't think we're in a position to do any of that. Mana Leak doesn't look so hot at the moment. We don't want to trade 6 for 9. But I think we do. They have 1 card in hand. It's something they didn't play out last turn, so it's most likely a removal spell. We'll just go ahead and pass. Unfortunately, we're on the chump plan. Inquisition. We'll just let this happen. Another Liliana. Hopefully they pick this up. Discarding. Okay, so we're sacrificing a creature. Attacking with both will animate the Colonnade to attempt to block the Confidant. They did not. We'll just take 5. 6. Bolt deals with Lily, but we're going to be taking a ton of damage next turn off this Scavenging Ooze. We can allow them to tick up Lily and then bolt Lily in response to that. And but we can't bolt Lily and chump with Colonnade. Not that chumping with Colonnade is ever a position you want to be in. Another Dark Confidant, huh? Letting this resolve because we have to chump with Colonnade this turn. Debating attacking with the Dark Confidant. Okay, so if they have a removal spell, we're dead now. We're probably dead later anyway. Blessed Alliance is pretty good. I think we'll just pass. We're not going to actually survive because Lily's probably going to plus before the attack. If we get lucky, they might not plus Lily because they want to keep cards in hand. Might just figure that we have a random card off the top. Not sure how much longer we want to continue playing this game. Oh yeah, I just needed to tap 2. I'm used to it costing 4. For our clocks in consideration, we may just want to concede. But if we draw like a path, we're not actually under that much pressure. Path or a Valorous stance. So this is going to take out our Sacred Foundry. I think we can concede to this rather than give them the information that we don't have another planes, but they probably already know that. Engineered Explosives is a great draw. Wait, did we not search? Okay, good. Just going to get our mountain because we're good on blue. Take 8 here. Engineered Explosives, hit me. Perfect. He only has 1 green open. Not sure whether we want to crack this now or wait. I think we would do because of the 2 Dark Confidants. We'll just crack it now. Well, if we continue to draw like that, then we might be fine. Jace. Is he targeting us? Okay. So he's now controlling our draws. Again, I feel like we should just concede, but there's only so much we can do. We can Field of Ruin to shuffle our library next turn after he Fate Seals us. So we'll go ahead and play again. We must have 2 really good cards right below that. That's fine. I don't even know what its ultimate does. Ultimate's 12. Interesting. On the end step, we're going to go ahead and Field of Ruin, play the Overgrown Tomb. That allows us to shuffle our library. It's not the worst draw. It's just going to get discarded to Lily, though. actually decided not to Fate Seal us this turn. Interesting. In a top decking situation like this, I definitely would have thought Fate Seal would have been the best option. But we do have one card in hand that he doesn't know about. Now we don't. Helix is fine. We'll target Lily with that in response to the discard. Oh, shoot. I clicked. I entirely meant to cast that spell in response. Whoops. He's going to use that to shuffle his own library. We're just going to concede here, especially after I misclicked there. I can't just be spewing off resources like that and have any chance to win the game. And time is one of our resources, so we'll go ahead and conserve time by doing that as well. With Jace and Lily, I think Commandeer is fine to bring in. Meddling Mage seems pretty much fine as well. I'm not entirely sure about it, though. Sphinx's Rev for sure we want. We want to top deck that late game. He has Dark Confidants, so is it Static Caster's probably fine. I think, once again, our deck is pretty well set up for this. It's just more a matter of drawing the correct cards at the correct time, because just about every single card in our deck is fine here. I think we're most likely to cut from our burn pile right here. The lightning bolts and the helixes. Sultai, so I think we probably just want bolt over helix. And we'll cut one electrolyzed for the Is It Static Caster. No, let's cut a helix because this gives us an additional blue card. It's possible we want negates. Timely reinforcements is an option as well. I think we're pretty good here. Let's submit this and try to run it back. If we get to steal a Jace, I'm going to be so excited. I know this is like a little bit of a pipe dream. We don't want to mulligan against them. We'll just go ahead and keep this. Lead on Colonnade. And pass. Another Field of Ruin. Start with Fetch Land. We're going to go get Steam Vents. We'll just get it tapped and Serum Visions. More lands we do not need. Pass. Tarmogoyf's a 2/3 with no instants in the graveyard, so Bolt does not kill it. Just going to play Field of Ruin and Vendilion Click them in their draw step. I always make the wrong decision with Vendilion Click. I can't do it for some reason. It's actually possible that we're supposed to Vendilion Click ourselves here so that we can get rid of some of these lands, but I'm not going to do that. Maelstrom Pulse, Liliana the Veil, Dark Confidant. Sorry guys, just a moment. Bring this. Come here. Do this. Maelstrom Pulse is an answer to it. I'm not too worried about that. I think we just take Liliana. Let them draw another card, and then we pass the turn. See if they drew another Liliana, perhaps. Dark Confidant. Collective Brutality. Okay, you get a Lightning Bolt, and give that -2/-2. Alright. I don't have a good way to display that snipping tool. I'm going to pull it up on my other screen, provided I didn't lose it. Pulling this up on my other screen, sorry you guys can't see it. Valorous Stance is pretty good, especially considering they just got that up to a 4/5. We'll go ahead and play Hallowed Fountain tapped and hold up Valorous Stance. They have Dark Confidant, Maelstrom Pulse, and Polluted Delta in hand. +1. Everybody's reading Valorous Stance because nobody ever plays it. I think it's a good card. It's probably not a good card, but it's fine. I think in the right deck, it's a good card. Whenever you have in a Delver style deck, where you want to protect your threat and make sure your threat can still continue to get in, I think it's fine. This is probably Jace here. If we're lucky, he'll Brainstorm this turn so we can snap Flashback Bolt, but he knows about snap. So we're probably not going to be that lucky. Not a Jace, just a Dark Confidant. That's fine. Electrolyze would be a great draw here. Just taking a look at our lands, how we want to play this. We'll start by electrolyzing. 1 and 1. Okay. This is going to be red, blue, Field of Ruin. Spell Queller is great, but not a card we're playing. So we'll go with Steam Vents tapped and pass. Our opponent now has Maelstrom Pulse and 1 unknown in hand, 2 unknowns in hand. So the Spell Queller isn't going to live very long once it does hit the battlefield. We'll have to play it on a turn where they don't have 3 mana available. Forest, 2 unknown cards in hand. Here's Jace. We can kill Jace next turn with the Colonnade, provided they don't have a Fatal Push in hand. I mean, it's hard to gamble with that after they Brainstorm, though. Is that something we want to do? Do we want to gamble that they don't have a Fatal Push? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we don't have Snap, Mana Leak, Snap Up, but we do have Spell Queller plus Mana Leak. I think we'll pass with Spell Queller plus Mana Leak up. I'm going to lead on the Spell Queller just because we want to get it down to pressure Jace. I feel like our opponent should probably be running more fetch lands. I think just the Maelstrom Pulse is the only thing we know about. Field of Ruin's probably going to target our Colonnade. We'll tap for blue, and then we'll go get our Plains probably. Or at least they shuffled their library with a Field of Ruin, so it's pretty good. Our opponent didn't think to go to the next turn before casting or to the next phase before casting a spell. Here we get the pressure Jace with this. I think we should have brought in Pithing Needle. Yeah, that was a mistake. Sorry about that, guys. So there's a Maelstrom Pulse likely going to get fired off here before too long. We will tap for blue. Go get a basic island. He remembered this time. It's fine though, because we have plenty of mana. He's passing, so we have to tap out on our turn, but he should have done it before we drew a card. We'll attack Jace again. Here comes the Maelstrom Pulse. 1, 2, 3. Our Mana Leak will hit. Or he's just going to let us take out Jace. We'll pass. Not firing off the Maelstrom Pulse is interesting. He might be playing around Mana Leak, I suppose. You've killed my Spell Queller. You have got yourself a Tarmogoyf. I'm going to path. With no burn or card draw in the graveyard, we're not going to be... Wait, do we have an Electrolyze in the graveyard? No, it got exiled. We're not going to be firing off these Snapcaster Mages. We're just going to pass. Spell Snare was a pretty good draw. Running a little low on time, but not horribly so. Ace. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just Mana Leak in the graveyard, huh? Unfortunately, I think we have to let this resolve because our Mana Leak's not actually going to find a target. They are brainstorming it again. And this time they left up a fetch land, so I think that's good for them, not for us. Thoughtseize. They can take Spell Snare or a Snapcaster Mage. We could Snapcaster Mage Mana Leak this, that you can still. We'll just let this resolve, I believe. I think they have to take a Snapcaster Mage. Our opponent correctly not playing anything for us to get value off this Snapcaster Mage. I think we just pass, as awful as that is. I Gondro Castle and pass. just an obscene amount of card advantage off of that Jace. I don't know. I'll probably have to invest in some in the near future. Thoughtseize again. This time we'll go ahead and flash in Snapcaster Mage. Probably just going to target Path to Exile. Thoughtseize resolves, taking our Spell Snare. Do we want to path this in response? I think we will, because we have Sphinx's Revelation in our deck. Might not be the correct line. Probably isn't the correct line. Opponent's at 1 card. We are also at 1 card. Or we're at 0 cards, sorry. About to draw to 1 card. Sphinx's Rev. Serum Visions is fine. Blessed Alliance is a fine card. I think we're going to top both of these. The order, I think we're going to put Colonnade first. And pass. Our opponent's going to Fate Seal us this coming turn. We really want to find a Bolt to take care of that Jace. Nope. They're continuing to accrue card advantage. Which I mean is great. I'm not saying it's bad. I would have Fate Sealed there. Lily is fantastic for them. That's what happens when you get so much card advantage. I should have cast this Blessed Alliance. I'm getting a little hasty with my clicks. I apologize. We drew our Colonnade that we were going to draw. Notion Thief is pretty great. We are going to go ahead and, we are going to go ahead and take care of this. It's possible that our opponent wanted to shuffle their library there, but we also might want to be getting the mountain so that they can't Spreading Seas us off of red. Yeah, I'd say our opponent did want to shuffle there. And that's why they attacked with the Tar Pit, but I'm not going to take 6 for no reason. We also shuffled away our Snapcaster. We really want to draw Sphinx's Revelation. Our primary goal is definitely to take care of Jace. I don't care if they just top to Fatal Push or not. We're going to attack Colonnade next turn. Jace is a... Oh gosh. So now we actually want to attack Lily, Playgeist, assuming we have the mana for that. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we're going to attack Lily, Playgeist, Oh, yeah, we do have the white as long as the colonnade survives. Seems like our opponent's F6'd. Now we get to play Geist and pass. They're going to hold back Notion Thief likely to block the Geist. This could be like a Damnation, or Courser Grufix is pretty good. There's so much value coming out of this deck. Even taking out our Geist by playing an additional Lily. No point in us conceding. If we do win this game, there's a possibility of us coming back on time. Sphinxes. No. So this is going to attack Jace. May have another in hand. That may be the card that's been stuck in his hand forever. Taking 5 this coming turn. Things aren't looking great for us. Really need to draw our Supreme Verdict, I think. Helix isn't an awful draw either. Sphinx's Rev is great. So we could fire this off now for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So for 6. That probably just gives us the most information about how we want to play the coming turns. So we'll go ahead and do that. Not sure what our opponent said to us. I'm not going to bother checking. What did I just miss? Oh my god. I didn't know about Notion Thief. Oh, they got us. I guess we still did gain the life. We'll keep playing. I mean, there's no reason for us to concede. It's a little bit more practice. Maybe we'll have another Notion Thief moment, get to really learn it and not forget about it. Electrolyze is pretty good to take out Notion Thief. So we can 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Leaves us with 4, so it doesn't play around Spell Pierce, which we know they have. They also have 2 the slaughter, which I believe is a sorcery. Can I see this card, please? No, it's an instant. So we're not attacking with Colonnade. We're just going to Electrolyze here and here, playing to our outs of drawing burn spells for the rest of the game. Not that that's really even an out at this point, but it's as close to an out as what we have. Just use the other island. No. We still don't draw that card? How do we not draw a card? Notion Thief should be dead by then. Holy shit. Pass. I said we were going to learn another thing about Notion Thief. A crazy templated card. Oops. I am accidentally jamming one when I meant to be pressing Q. We're going to go ahead and animate Colonnade. It's going to get to the slaughtered. Or Field of Ruined. Two Slaughtered doesn't have that many targets in our deck. I probably would have to the Slaughtered. Go into 1. Tarmogoyf. So Supreme Verdict or Bust. Valorous Stance doesn't get us there. Well, guys, that was our first match. We got to play against Jace, so, I mean, I'm happy about that now. We'll see here in a few months whether I'm happy about that or not. We'll be back with round 2 before too awfully long. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video.